What's up, everyone? Champion's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for the last card of the year, Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. It's a banger. There's a lot of really good fights on this card, so I'm hyped for it. We're gonna have a long break, which sucks, but hey, it is what it is. We'll enjoy it while it lasts. There's a big Rising card I'm very excited for, so make sure to watch that. It was around New Year's time, but I mean, there's also a really good PFL card this weekend, but that's the point. Fun fights, and very excited to talk about them. Of course, after this card's done and stuff like that, I'm gonna do the Champ Bet Awards, which I started last year. So I'm gonna do like things like Fighter of the Year, which is gonna be really hard because it would have been easy Marab, but I don't know now. I have to think about that. Fighter of the Year, Fight of the Year, my favorite bet of the year, like the best bet of the year, worst bet of the year, etc. So we'll be there. So tune in. Some prospects I really like on the Contender Series and some futures in terms of like who will be champ at the end of the year if I see anything I like in those kind of bets. So, yep, we'll be getting into those. But first, as always, we'll go over what happened last week. I was at this card, which means I didn't put as many bets in, but we'll go over it. It was incredible. Everything I really like put my foot down on, they came through. So we'll go through each one of them. Maycee Barber to beat Karine Silva. Oh, man. Oh, that felt so good. Because Karine Silva was such a gasser. Maycee Barber really brought it to her. And it was just a beautiful thing to see. Maycee Barber came in there and just bullied Karine Silva. The bully. It was great to see. Happy to see Maycee Barber come back and just be ready to go. So, yeah. Shout out to Maycee Barber. I thought she made not necessarily easy, but like she got there like pretty. She got through pretty. Like, how do I say this? Like, not easy, but it was like she did what she had to do to make sure she would win pretty often. Damage, baby. Damage-based scoring. Maycee Barber. It goes together. By the way, it was pretty insane that the point was not taken in that fight. Big up kick. To me, that's the type of thing that would affect the fight, and that's how you take points. So that was crazy. No point was taken, but hey, it is what it is. Maycee Barber still won no matter what, so happy with that. Next bet I had on this card, fight ends by KO on Pantoja versus Van. Not the way I really wanted to get it, but I'll take it when I get it. I also had like bet on like Pantoja by KO. That didn't really come through, but that's okay. I mean, it's super tragic how it went down. But when you started seeing how the fight was going, you literally could see why I bet fight ends by KO. Because I knew Pantoja was going to try to take this dude's head off, and if he lands correctly, he's going to knock him out. That's what I thought. And like if the fight went super long, Joshua Van's absolutely live to drown. Didn't get to that point. I mean, very unfortunate for Pantoja's arm. I hope he recovers soon. I hope he comes back and fights for the belt again soon. So, obviously, he's going to get the first chance to get a rematch whenever it's possible. But heal up, champ. So, but yeah, that I won the bet because of that unfortunate circumstance. But so, I mean, I won't complain. But yeah, pretty unfortunate. The next fight I had a bet on Petr Yan. Versus Merab Dvalishvili. I had money on Petr Yan to come through. My king, one of my favorite fighters of all time. He came through. Man, I had so much belief, and I really did believe all this stuff I heard. And like I've heard from his team and stuff like that, saying like he had a messed up hand. It's like if you can't throw the right hand, it's a different fight. It absolutely was a different fight. And also like Merab fighting 4 times a year. There's a reason why champs don't do it. I stand by that. There's a reason why dudes don't do that. And it all came to fruition. Petr Yan looked amazing. Performance of the year, in my opinion. That's probably a spoiler for the Champ Bets video, because Champ Bets Awards video, because man, incredible performance from Petr Yan. He looked amazing. I'm so happy I was able to get to see that fight live, because oh my goodness, Petr Yan, prime Petr Yan is just such a joy to watch. Just unbelievable. The body shots, from the kicks to the liver shots, man, beautiful to watch. Petr Yan's him, man. Petr Yan's him. And I love being in the crowd for that, because like I remember like there were times where Merab was like kind of holding on to Piotr Jan in like the clinch against the fence, and I was like, boo, because I was trying to get like the ref to break them up, but he didn't. And it didn't even need to, because Piotr Jan really did well in that aspect, and he got some takedowns of his own. So yeah, Piotr Jan, that dude, big night, up 11 units. So like I think now I'm like up 60 units in the year, which is fantastic. Hope he can keep this up with this last card. Yeah, feels freaking great, man. Great year for betting overall. So yeah, let's get into the rest of the picks I had in this card. Just real quick. I did pretty good picks wise, and some of the ones I said I would have like bet and stuff like that, my card probably would have been even better. So feels good. So 8-14, it could have been better, but yeah. Myron Santos against Muhammad Naimov. I still don't think Myron's all that, to be honest with you. I thought he looked all right. I thought he was winning all the rounds. Not that I ever thought Naimov was anything that special by any means. Good finish though by Santos towards the end of round 3. I heard someone call him like Carlos Prates at 145. I was like, I don't agree with that. And yeah, he mentioned he'll never have that weight problem thing again. I don't believe that at all. If you look, there's a photo online where it's like Myron Santos didn't make weight, and that was for his tough finale fight against Con Ofli. He's just standing, like the scale is right here, and is like his like half of his feet are off the scale. This guy's always gonna have weight problems at this weight class. It's not gonna work out, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think he's that great. I cannot wait to fade him. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But I knew it wasn't gonna be in this fight. So yeah, props to Myron though. I thought he looked pretty good. Besides the weight miss. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricoli. I saw a meme about this fight where it's like Mansour had like it's like it wasn't Mansour having like a bet on the over this time. It was Tricoli. Tricoli had all his chips down on under 1.5. So that was really funny. Yeah, Mansour made easy work with Tricoli. Tricoli, poker player. It is what it is. You look good though. Shout out to Mansour though. He did what he had to do. Like I can't complain too much about that performance. Holy cow, this fight was crazy. I can't remember. Evo versus Ebo. One of the best fights of the year. Round of the year, very likely. Bananas. Legitimately bananas. Guys just swinging. Not how I thought this fight would go down, because I thought Evo would go for a judo throw. Like legendary Polish judo. I was like saying all week. Like he's gonna judo throw him and sub him. No, it's just no fight IQ. Just swing, and see who wins. Evo gets the dub. It was incredible. I mean, keep Evo in the UFC for that. He saved his time in the UFC longer. Just give us more like that. I'm all in. So props to Evo. I would have bet something like 1-2 Evo and 2-3 KO Evo. So that would have hit if I ended up betting it, but didn't, because I was at the card and I just want to enjoy. Shout out Evo. Shout out both guys, actually. Jalen Turner beats Edson Barboza. Again, if I was at this card, I would 100% bet on Jalen Turner. And yeah, I made easy work of Edson Barboza. Easy work of Edson Barboza. Edson's too old at this point, sadly. And yeah, it kind of just ran through him. I would just say there. Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. I probably would have had some sort of bet on Marvin Vettori, but I went to the card, so then it was a close fight. I think Marvin low-key could have won, but I'm not going to be like, oh, this was robbery. Not really. Bruno did all right. He did what he had to do to win. Marvin's not the same guy he used to be, because, he should have been able to implement wrestling / get more significant strikes off. He just didn't. So it's sad to see, but Marvin, it's kind of done. Faraz Ziam versus Nazim Sadikov. I would have bet on this not Nazim, Faraz Ziam 100% in this fight. It's like I'm not sure if I said this in the video, but I know I was definitely saying this in like some like other places and stuff like that. Faraz Ziam is going to be fighting for a belt in 2027, not next year, because is Ilya not going to fight much at all, to be honest, because that's how Ilya is. But Ziam, this dude's a truth, man. He is so good. He's probably the best, like, I mean, he's ranked now. He's like the best guy in this division to, like, all of a sudden a newcomer coming up, the new generation coming up and fight for the belt. I think Ziam's the guy, man. This dude is the truth. And I love him. I think he checks all the boxes for me. So yeah, Ziam, this fight, he should, like, the first round, Nazim was trying to bully him, trying to wrestle. Frost is like, okay, I'm going to beat you in that realm. He beats him in that realm. Round 2, Nazim's like, okay, I got to strike with this guy. I'm going to try and mix this up. And now Ziam is just out striking him, working him, doing whatever he wants. Ziam is the truth, man. It gets a guy like Nazim to finish him too. Insane, because Nazim is so tough, so durable. This is a lot, man. Ziam has all the talent in the world. So shout out to Frost Ziam. Talked about this one. Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. I would have probably had a small bet on Terrence McKinney. Wouldn't have been anything crazy. I mean, it's kind of what I expected. What I said with this breakdown is like T-Rex is going to hurt him at some point. Or I'm not sure if I said he's going to hurt him, but he's going to land. I know I probably said something like that because Duncan's not necessarily the most defensively responsible guy. And it's going to be like, if he dies, he dies. And if he doesn't, he's going to win. He didn't. And after that, Terrence McKinney slowed down and Duncan really got on him. So, I mean, shout out to Chris Duncan. Great fight. Manuel Torres versus Grant Dawson. I would have had something like a Grant Dawson round 3 decision on this fight. I guess a small bet. Yeah, Torres just nuked Grant Dawson. He wasn't there to say, like, he just nuked him. I thought Dawson was looking all right on the feet, although his overhands were terrible. Don't throw those overhands ever again. So bad. Other than that, I thought Grant Dawson was looking pretty all right on the feet. And then, yeah, he got nuked. Torres is live to nuke. And I'd say some of the best fight IQ I've seen from Torres. Like, he didn't just go straight in. He fought smart, like distance, being patient. It's a good thing to see. By the way, I met Torres in Fight Week. Super nice guy. One of the nicest guys I've ever met. So, in terms of like a fighter, very nice guy. So, shout out to Manuel Torres. Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. I went with Blachowicz. I thought a draw was completely fair. I'm not sure if I would have had money on this fight. I think I would have completely skipped on it. Yeah, I thought draw was completely fair, to be honest. He got hurt bad round 2, and Guskov was landing big. But in rounds 1 and 3, Blachowicz doing the better work. So, I mean, there's not much to really say there. Fun fight. Cejudo versus Talbot. I probably would have had a small little bet on Cejudo. Talbot worked him. It's just the age just showing up, and yeah, it makes sense as Cejudo's retirement fight. Great career, awesome fight. I mean, Talbot went to war with old Henry Cejudo, and so, I mean, I gotta respect it. So shout out to Triple C, great career. Hey, it is what it is. Next fight, Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Moreno. Whoo! This dude Taira is the truth. Taira is the truth. I think this guy is going to be your next flyweight champion. I mean, I said that in like the last video I did. This guy is going to be the one to beat Pantoja. Like, I guess he's going to be the one to beat Joshua Van. He's so good, man. To hold Moreno in those positions, like in round 2, hold him in that position without Moreno finding a way to scramble out. It's insane. No one does that except for Pantoja. Like, this guy is some of the best jiu-jitsu in MMA. There's no denying that. Taira has gotten so good. This guy's the truth. He's going to be a champ very, very soon. So, yeah. And I think that's it. So, yeah. Because I already talked about these ones. So, yeah. There we go. Let's get into this card. There are 4 specific bets I'm kind of keen in on. Some of varying variety of like how much I'm going to bet, but there are 4. I say like main fights on this card. I'm putting my money where my mouth is here. This is one of them. Teresa Bleda versus Jamie Lynn Horth. If you remember correctly, this fight was going to happen at UFC Atlanta, but Bleda pulled out, and Horth went on to fight Demopoulos, who stepped in on short notice. I'm not sure if I made the video by then before Bleda pulled out or something like that, But like, I know I definitely had like a strong conviction on this fight, like who I think's gonna win, and it's still the same. I'm not sure if it was before fight week, I would not talked about it, but I definitely had a bet on it. Bet me that tips at one point, and I'll tell you what, it's Theresa Bleda. I think she's gonna run through Jamie Lynn Horth. Maybe not run through, but I think she has all the tools in the world to make this look pretty relatively easy, but maybe a tough round 3 if we get there. I won't be shocked if she subs her. I will say that. Bleda is humongous. We're talking about Jamie Lynn Horth, who relies on how big she is, how physical she is. Bleda is humongous. Like, I mean, she is huge. I mean, I just said that like so many times. I don't think that size thing is going to come into play. Jamie Lynn Horth has bad fight IQ. We've seen. I know for a fact she doesn't know how this sport is scored. I've listened to an interview before the Miranda Maverick fight, which is why I had such a big bet on Miranda Maverick that fight, because like she was talking about like, oh, I had like an armbar, which was not even in at that point. And it's like, how is this not scoring? You're not doing anything with it. It was ridiculous and not even in. You don't know how the sport's scored. She has bad fight IQ. Her wrestling, especially if she gets put on bottom, which I expect Theresa Bleda to be able to get her to be put on bottom. I think Bleda is going to be able to find ways to get her down to the ground. And once we're down to the ground, it's her world. And man, Bleda is a good wrestler. On the feet, it will be bad. It will not look good. But I don't think Jamie Lynn Horth's making all these sorts of improvements. I don't take much from the Miranda Maverick fight, to be honest with you, because I mean, Miranda said it herself. It's like, I made this girl look so much better than she actually is. And I truly do believe her. And I think this is the fight to show that. I mean, Ivana Petrovic had her in like such bad spots. And that's bad. That's not good. Ivana is very like not UFC level at all, in my opinion. And Bleda, I think I think maybe not the truth, but like she is good, and she has a lot of upside in the future, in my opinion. She can make a lot of big improvements at this time off. Although I will say, I know during this time off, she's been mainly injured, so maybe she's not training as much. But I know like the past 6 to 8 months, she actually has been like training and stuff like that. And there is a chance she makes these improvements in that time, because she is so young. So there's that. So I mean, any sort of improvement in the strike can be great, but I just need her get a takedown, hold her down, maybe even sub her rounds 1 and 2. I think the line on rounds 1, 2 sub Bleda, because I know Bleda's cardio isn't the greatest thing ever, and it will definitely scare me if we get to round 3. But I mean, she pushes through in the Gabriela Fernandez fight, which is aged pretty well. Not that I think Gabriela Fernandez is that great of a fighter, I'm going to be honest with you, but I mean, she still finds a way. And a girl at like low fight IQ with like Jamie Lynn Horth, I won't be shocked if something like that happens. And like a win against Vanessa Demopoulos where she looked dominant, it's just a big size difference. That's not going to be here. And even this Miranda Maverick fight, like Miranda Maverick was like doing completely fine. It was working Jamie Lynn Horth on the feet, and after like back of the head shots, she was like completely compromised and still found a way to win. Like, I think that's worth mentioning. I don't think much of Jamie Lynn Horth. I mean, Bleda arguably gave Natalia Silva her toughest fight. Arguably. It's like one of the tougher fights she's given her, even though she got finished later. But I mean, she gave like some problems to Natalia Silva. So I think it's worth mentioning. Theresa Bleda is really good. I like her in this spot. I'm absolutely going to be betting her. I think she will get it done against Jamie Lynn Horth. I do think the submission is live. I think those, like I said, the round 1-2 submission Bleda is insane, or just 1-2 is probably not a bad way to look at it. Like plus 700 1-2 sub, plus 400 round 1-2. I think those are kind of insane. I do think it probably does go the distance, but round 1-2 would not be shocked. So I might be putting that down. We'll see. Yeah, I like Bleda there. Next fight, Alan Fry versus Gohamer. I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Pat. I generally don't know. If I had to pick something, if I had to bet something, it'd be an over, because I don't know. I'm going to go with Pat, but I think the UFC wants him to win, but I know he's scheduled to fight in the Contender Series at one point. I saw Fry fighting in the mall. What scares me is like Fry keeps his chin up like so high, and Fry can just, I could still see him land. So I don't know, but I think Pat's like the better fighter, but I don't know, man. I just think this fight goes to decision and be kind of boring. That's kind of what I think. I don't have much of a take. I'd say probably just stay away. Just stay away, in my opinion. I want nothing to do with this fight. Luana Santos versus Melissa Croden. Give me Croden. I'm not very high on Santos at all. Although I will say she looked pretty good against Lisboa last time around. And so did Croden, I thought. Although I would say Lisboa, I think, is just nowhere near the same girl, especially after the surgery she had. I think Croden is big enough to give Luana Santos big problems. I think she is. And I think the cardio-wise, it's going to be a nightmare for Santos if she can't finish. I forgot. Did she finish? Yeah, she did finish Dainara. But I think Croden's really going to be put on Luana Santos as this fight goes on. I don't think the fight is actually... do they have odds on that right now? No, not in Bovada at least. But I know on Bet Online they do. Because I know Croden has a history where she's never been finished. Although, don't get me wrong, she's come close because Cavalcanti dropped her like 5 times in a row in like one sequence. So like, it's not like she can't be finished. But I mean, she's come close to being finished before. But something like fight finish only Croden. So I do think most of her win equity can absolutely be like through finish. What I'm trying to say is, so I think she's gonna get a finish here. And I think the cardio, I still have questions about it, especially if she's getting pushed. I think Croden's the type to push her. Croden's huge for the weight class as well, which I think absolutely matters, and I think it will make a pretty big difference here. Luana can't get the wrestling going, the judo going. Big problem's gonna happen. I don't think Luana Santos is all that, to be honest. I never have. I had a huge bet on Casey O'Neill to beat her, Luana Santos, and that wound up going really well. So yeah, I think Melissa Croden puts it on her. I think the cardio woes of Luana Santos show up again. Although I would say, again, she's looked pretty all right at 135 now. So I might have a bet on this one, but it won't be very much. I think Croden's absolutely live to get the upset here. So yeah, give me Croden. Sean Sharaf versus Steven Aspald. I don't know what to make of this fight. You know what? I'm going to go Sharaf for round 1 KO. Extreme Couture guy. I think the wrestling's going to get it done for him. I know, like, the loss against Junior Tafa is not a great look. I know. But to be fair, super short notice. It's like 4 or 3 days short notice. And, like, I can't overlook the wrestling woes of Steven Aspald. I think he absolutely can get taken out. I know he's training with Thomas Peterson, so maybe he's getting better at that. I know the cardio edge is absolutely with Steven. But... like, but I think that performance against Tafa is not necessarily the most indicative of Sean Sharaf. Again, because of how like short notice it was. Like, he went super crazy in that fight. He gassed himself. I think if he's able to get takedowns, he can keep top position and win like that. I absolutely think that's very possible. And I think he can absolutely get like a TKO from ground and pound, stuff like that. So I think it's absolutely possible. And I'm going to go with it. I don't know if I like time off or something like that, but maybe he's gotten better in that time off. Just Steven is not all that. He really isn't. So I'm gonna go with Sharaf to get the job done. I know losing the top was not like the greatest thing ever, but he honestly lost only because of gas tank. He was smoking Tafa before. I'm not sure if I had a bet on Tafa or not. I might have, but it's like after that fight, I was like, I'm never picking Tafa again to like go this close with a guy on this short notice is ridiculous. It's not that Sharaf is like bad or anything, but I think he absolutely has a chance to get this one done. So yeah, give me Sean Sharaf to get the job done against Steven Aspel, but I'm not confident at all. Next fight, Neil Magny versus Yaroslav Amosov. This is another one of the 4 I'm feeling pretty good about. Give me Amosov. I think he should get this done. I'm going to go to decision. I think sub's absolutely possible, though. I will say that. I don't think Neil Magny getting a comeback victory is going to keep happening every fight. I think Amosov's going to cruise here. I think the wrestling gap is just too much. And Neil Magny against guys who like really good wrestlers is gonna be too. It's gonna be too much. I know Amosov has shown like bad cardio woes in the past, so I don't get me wrong. I'm worried. I'm ready for the sweat once if it happens, and it absolutely has a chance of happening. I'm just gonna warn you now. So I know the odds are pretty steep. I've already bet them at the odds, but I want to take the chance because man, I think it is such a levels fight because I think Amosov is pretty damn legit. And I don't think it's going to be the most entertaining fight. Magny puts himself in pretty bad positions to like get subbed and stuff like that. So that's definitely going to be live. I think Amosov is going to be able to get Magny down and kind of work him and do what he needs to do to win. So give me Amosov. I think he should probably cruise, to be honest. Get Magny down, hold him there. Maybe have a little bit of a tough round 3, but still make it through. Be tough enough. And get it done. So give me Amosov. I think he gets it done. Joanson Brito versus Isaac Thompson. Now I'm gonna go with Brito. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Isaac Thompson is not bad. This guy is a good fighter. I am not betting this fight. Stay away, because this guy. I wouldn't be shocked if we get an upset. Isaac Thompson is the truth, and I think he's someone absolutely look at. I just think on the short notice it's kind of crazy to be really backing him, but. I mean, it could be another Ethan Ewing situation. I wouldn't be shocked, but I am going to go with Joanderson Brito. I think it is too soon, too like of an ask for Isaac Thompson. Yeah, I think Brito is going to get back on the win column with a short notice win, but I'm staying away. I'm just believing in Brito being a physical freak, honestly. Other than even though Isaac's probably the better technical fighter. Perhaps everywhere, maybe not as much of jiu-jitsu, like in terms of like he's way better than Brito in the jiu-jitsu realm. I'm not sure. Maybe it's like pretty even. But like in terms of power, like oh my goodness, Brito's disgusting. So I'm going Brito by TKO, but I wouldn't be shocked if Isaac just styles on him. It's very possible. Actually, I'm curious if there's odds on that sort of thing. Not right now, but like. Yeah. I was thinking maybe like a +3.5 for Isaac would be interesting, but I don't know. Like, it's something to look at. Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. This is the third of the 4 fights. I'm willing to put my foot down. Jillian Robertson, I think, is gonna mess up Amanda Lemos. Now, I know. I will say I am a little worried because Jillian Robertson on the feet scares the living crap out of me. Not because she's like. She's gotten better. She's gotten a lot better on the feet than she has been in the past. I will absolutely say that. But it's like, she can get hit. And if she gets hit by Amanda Lemos, it would be very bad. It would be very bad. And that's what I'm very, very scared of. And like, I can't put too much down on this. I'm not willing to put too much down on this. But if she does get it down, once she gets it down, it's going to be a difference maker. Because I think that once that first takedown hits and there's enough time for her to work her ground and pound and stuff like that, the fight changes. I think it's all downhill from there for Jillian Robertson. Once she gets that first takedown, once those elbows hit, Amanda Lemos is not going to be the same. Because unlike these other girls that Lemos has been fighting, Suarez, Lucindo, Verna, Dern, Zhang. I guess Zhang is probably the closest one to this. Jillian Robertson is going to make her pay. She's going to do damage. Jillian Robertson does damage. And I love Jillian Robertson. And I think she's absolutely going to put a hurt on Amanda Lemos. It's just the first moments of the fight where it's on the feet. I'm going to be like, I hate this. But I think Jillian Robertson's her. I think she's making the improvements needed to become a world champion. I think she's going to try to make a big statement here, a big statement performance here to get the title shot. Like, I think for what Jillian Robertson needs to do, get the job done, get a finish here. Then after getting a finish, go onto the microphone and call for Mackenzie Dern. Be like, Weili Zhang takes a while to come down and come to fight anyways. Let's fight in the meantime. See who's the champ. Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. And then see who's the champ then. I think this is what Jillian Robertson needs to do. And I think she absolutely has a chance to do it. Because I think on the ground here, we've seen Lemos have so much struggles on the ground with a bunch of these girls. And I think Jillian Robertson, unlike some of these other girls, is going to make her pay so bad. Ground and pound. The subs are going to be scary at all points. So, yeah. That's where I'm leaning with all that stuff. I think Jillian is going to mess up Amanda Lemos. So, yeah. Give me Jillian Robertson to get the job done. Yeah. Next fight up the card. King Green versus Lance Gibson Jr. Give me Green. I think Green is going to... I mean, I don't know. I won't tell you what. I'm not betting Green in these odds. These are insane. He could really be that wash, to be honest. But I do think it's kind of levels, to be honest. It wouldn't be shocked me if Lance Gibson Jr. just knocks him out. So I want nothing to do with this, but I do think it's levels. I don't think Lance Gibson Jr. is all that great, and I think on the feet, just Green's going to style on him. He's going to need to style on him if he wants to win, probably. But, I mean, Gibson does want this opportunity, so there's no denying that. So I am kind of worried, but I do think King Green will get the job done. Not much to say there. Not much interest for me. Kennedy Nchukwu versus Marcus Buchecha. Good fight. You know what? I'm just going to say it. I think the Walter Walker fight was a meme. I don't believe it happened. This doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Walter Walker doesn't make sense to me at all. I think Kennedy should be able to keep range, front kick and stuff like that, and win like that. I will say this: Marcus Buchecha is probably live to sub Kennedy early. There's no denying that, because Marcus is a really legit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. I'll also say Buchecha is probably live to KO Kennedy, especially early. There's no denying that, because Kennedy's, once he gets hit, man, it's bad. It's bad. So I just believe in Kennedy's length, and he's being able to keep the fight at distance and land big shots. But I'm very scared to back him here, honestly. And yeah, I mean, I think he wins, but I feel like a lot of weird, crazy outcomes could come to happen with this. And I knew Buchecha is really, really tough, so there's that as well. So I give you Kennedy, but I am afraid. Morgan Charrier versus Melkaziel Costa. Banger fight. This could be fight of the year. I've been hearing some people say that, and they're right. Banger fight. I'm gonna go with Morgan Charrier. I think he's gonna put on Costa. I think Charrier has the better cardio of the two, and I think the wrestling he has is gonna absolutely come to play here. Costa's takedown defense not good. I think Morgan Charrier is reliable to. Yeah, I mean, he's unfinishable. He's unfinishable. Believe it or not. It's crazy. So I think Morgan Charrier able to land bigger shots. I think he's absolutely live to probably KO or TKO Melkaziel Costa. And I think he probably lands the better shots. I think he's way better on the feet. He's more versatile arsenal. Mel Costa is more like a kicker and stuff like that. But Morgan has a whole package. I think the boxing is way better for Morgan. I mean, I kind of think he's going to do what I kind of thought Julian Erosa is going to do to Mel Costa. Maybe not the same pace, because Erosa's pace is insane, but Charrier just puts it on dudes. I know that Landwehr's fight wasn't necessarily the best look in the world, but I mean, Landwehr's has insane pace as well. So, I mean, no shame in that, and he still got the win there. But I think Morgan Charrier is absolutely going to put it on Melkaziel Costa and get the victory here. I'm kind of interested in betting him. I'm trying to see, I don't know. It won't be probably that big of a bet. One unit to make 1 unit max, maybe something less. Maybe finish only Morgan Charrier, because that's just how this dude rolls. He don't get finished. He's not the best of decisions, but yeah, give me Morgan Charrier. I think he does get the win. Cesar Almeida versus Cesare Oleksiejczuk. Now, the fourth and final fight of the ones I really like. 4 fights. This one though, 10 toes down. I have utmost confidence in this. I have so much belief in this guy. And who is this guy? Cesare Oleksiejczuk. Give me round 2. I'm going round 2 KO, because he said I'm gonna finish him. I'm gonna do my work rounds 2, 3. I'm just gonna listen to him. But I was thinking round 1 KO. He's going to mop the floor with Cesar Almeida, in my opinion. I've been so low on Cesar Almeida. I've been wanting to fade this guy for forever. And I have faded him a few times in the past. I faded him with Dylan Budka. Budka's not that great. I faded him with Roman Kopylov. That came through. I don't know how that was a split. Crazy. And he was getting a lot of wrestling success, which is crazy because it's Kopylov. Ihor Patera, I didn't bet against him with Ihor. I think I stayed away. And then I did bet against him with Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I almost had him. But he gets like caught at the end. But he did drop Cesar Almeida. So there's that to mention. I think Cesar is slowing down. I do think so. I think he's getting old. I know he's coming off of a surgery. I believe it's on his knee or something like that. Maybe ACL. But he's definitely coming off of surgery, and he's been out for a while because of that. It's not great to see at his age. And I do think the chin is deteriorating. Getting dropped by Kopylov, getting dropped by Abdul Razak Al Hassan, and those guys hit really hard. You know who else does? Cesare Oleksiejczuk. He hits really hard as well. So absolutely live to chin Cesar Almeida. What's there to say? I'm also, let's Ihor Patera fight. If I had to pick a fight to nominate as like the most likely rigged fight ever, or not ever, most likely rigged fight of like the past like 5 years or something like that. I mean, obviously Bulgarian, the Bulgarian fight, Minner, etc. Minner versus Nurmabeke, etc. This would be up there because Ihor was robbed of a draw, honestly, because he got eye poked like 4 times, nothing called, nut shotted, and every time it would go clinch against the fence, the ref would break it out. It was criminal. Never seen anything like that. Not seen anything like that since. Ridiculous. I mean, and that says a lot because Ihor is not the best. I'm probably higher on Ihor than most people are, but I don't think that's like the best look ever. For Cesar, at Cesare though, I'm gonna get into Cesare. He's the truth. This guy is the truth. I know I'm gonna do the Champ Bets award soon, and I always do like 2 prospects. I'm always gonna do like 2 prospects from Day One Contender Series. I'm like super high on, and it sucks because this fight's happening now. I can't include him in the video, or maybe I still will. I don't know. Well, I'll see if I overrule it for this sort of thing. But I mean, he absolutely would have been one of the ones I would have considered for this spot because I think Cesare is the goods. This guy is the truth. Very young, has a lot of experience, well-rounded, really good striking game. He can also grapple. Unlike Mikal, his brother, this guy has grappling in the back pocket. He can absolutely bring that out against Cesar Almeida anytime he wants, and I think he can get it done there. He's so well-rounded. I hope he mixes it up to at least get Cesar thinking about mixing it up, if not getting it down and just beating the crap out of him. And he's such a measured, good striker. Unlike Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who just went crazy on him against Cesar and just got countered to hell. I think Cesare knows he's like, pick the shots well, find the shot. And he's so clean with the striking. And he hits hard. He's so much faster than Cesar is at this point. Like, Cesar's not the same guy who beat Politan all those years ago. Not the same guy. I think things are different. I think Cesare makes a statement here. I think he will win. I like the -3.5 for Cesare Oleksiejczuk. I think that's a great look as well. I played the money line pretty big. I love him here. I love Cesare Oleksiejczuk. I think this is where the fade for Cesar Almeida comes in. I'm excited for this. I think he's going to put on a statement performance. Give me Cesare Oleksiejczuk. I love him here. Next fight up the card. Giga Chikadze versus Kevin Vallejos. This is a weird one. I am going to go with Vallejos. I'm going to go decision because I think Giga's extremely tough. But I'll tell you what. I feel like Vallejos can make his life a lot easier if he wrestles. Just wrestles and gets Giga down, work him on top, win like that. I think that's easiest path to victory. I don't trust his fight IQ to do that, though. I'm going to be honest. I don't trust it. I don't know if I know he's going to do that. I don't know if he has reliable fight IQ to do this. So I'm just going to completely stay away because I think this fight's on the feet. It's going to play out a lot closer than what people are making it out to be. So I think Vallejos is pretty good. I don't think he's as good as some people think he is. I think he is a fade in the future, but against 2, I don't think it's going to be Giga. But I mean, it could be, especially if this fight happens on the feet. But I think Vallejos I'll lean with him actually relying on the wrestling and stuff like that to get this done and make his life a lot easier. But I'm not confident he goes to that realm and like maybe just comes close to Giga and like throws big hammers. I don't know, but I'm going with Vallejos, but I'm not like super duper confident in it. Next, I have the card: Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. What a way to end the year! This one's such a banger. I'm not crazy about this, like in terms of like picking, because like, I'm gonna go Royval. I'm gonna go Royval to win the decision, but I don't know, because I originally in this matchup coming up earlier on this year, I was going Royval to begin with, but I worry because after that Joshua Van fight, I'm like, oh man, he took a lot of damage there. He took a lot of damage. Manel Kape can absolutely hurt him and stuff like that. But I'm just going with my read of the first fight, where it's like, I think Royval can make this similar to Felipe Dos Santos versus Manel Kape, except Royval's just a lot better of a fighter than Felipe Dos Santos. Work the volume, not get hit as many big moment stuff as Manel Kape did in that fight. Use the 5 rounds to his advantage. Mix it up, not necessarily because you need to, or not necessarily because you're going to get it to work, like the ground game and stuff like that, but get Manel Kape thinking. I think Royval's just a really good fighter, and I'm not going to let that Joshua Van fight, like him getting dropped at the end, taking so much damage there, deter me from going with Royval to win this fight. I think Royval's still alive to win. I think he's going to put up a good fight, so give me Royval. I'm thinking about putting like a small little bet on him. Maybe like a plus 9.5 or something like that. Banking on him not to get finished. But I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be shocked if he does get finished. It does scare me, but I think Royval. I think Raw Dog's the truth. I think he's still a really good fighter, and I lean his way to find a way to get a victory. But it's not. I'm not gonna act like I'm super confident in it. So yeah, give me Royval, but. So yeah, that's it for picks wise, but let's get into more takedowns, more significant strikes in terms of those bets I like. Teresa Bleda, Jamie Lynn Horth, more takedowns, Bleda all day. More 6 strikes. I guess I'll lean Horth because I trust her volume more, but I mean, if Blade is getting on top really quickly and maybe throws a little bit more, it could go to her. But more takedowns, Bleda, of course. Don't even ask me about this one. I don't know. I honestly don't know. More 6 strikes, Pat, I guess. I don't know. Luana Santos, Croden. More takedowns, probably Santos. I just expect her to go for them more. Then more 6 strikes. Since I'm going with Croden to win, I think she's going to put more of a pace on Santos. Sean Sharaf versus Steven Aspel. More takedowns. Sean, for sure. I think that's pretty easy to go with. I don't think Aspel's going to be going for any takedowns. More 6 strikes. If you think the fight goes long, it's going to be Steven. If you think the fight doesn't go long, it can kind of go either way, but I kind of lean Sean, but I don't know. More takedowns, Sharaf. Neo Magny, Yaroslav Amaslav. If you don't think Neo Magny gets this comeback thing, it's going to be, more takedowns, definitely Amaslav. More 6 strikes. I'll still go Amaslav, but yeah. More takedowns. Isaac Thompson, Joanderson Brito. You know what? I want to go with more 6 strikes. Isaac Thompson. I think it's absolutely live. Not like Brito's necessarily the biggest like significant strike thrower out there. But more takedowns. I guess I'm going to go Brito. I think he's more likely to go to the wrestling in this fight than Thompson is. Jen Robertson, Amanda Lemos. More takedowns. Robertson. I don't think Lemos is going to go for any. Then more significant strikes. It's interesting. I couldn't go with Jillian because I do think she gets on the ground. She's going to land some ground and pound. But, I mean, they can be stingy with those 6 strikes on the ground. But I am going to go with Jillian there. She is hittable, though. I will say that. This scared me for that. King Green, Lance Gibson Jr. I think more 6 strikes. King Green's pretty good luck because I think he's going to be styling until he isn't. Like, that's just how King Green works. More takedowns, I'd probably go Lance Gibson Jr. because I don't really think King Green's going to be going for any takedowns. So, yep. If anyone goes for any takedowns, probably not King Green. Kennedy Nchukwu versus Marcus Buchecha. I don't think Kennedy's going for any takedowns. Marcus Buchecha, more takedowns. More 6 strikes, probably Kennedy. Just a better striker. Morgan Charrier, Milk Costa. It's interesting. because it could be pretty high volume early. I'm going to go Morgan Charrier, more significant strikes, more takedowns. I also going to go Morgan Charrier because I think Malk's going to be willing to play off his back and probably prefers to be off his back. Cesar Almeida, Cesario, Oleg Sejchuk, more takedowns. Oleg Sejchuk, more significant strikes. I like those. Giga Chikadze, Kevin Vallejos, more takedowns, 100%. More 6 strikes, interesting. I'm going to go with Vallejos because I trust him to go with that game plan, but I don't mind a dog shot on Giga Chikadze, more 6 strikes, to be honest with you. If that is a dog shot, I don't know. Royval, Manel Kape, more 6 strikes, Royval, because he's just throwing a bunch of volume, and Manel's going to be looking to counter-strike. More takedowns, probably Royval, because I don't think Manel's going to be going for any takedowns. Yeah. That's what I think. Thank you so much for watching. Last card of the year. Hope it's a good one. You can check me out at betmma.tips champ bets, all the sort of bets I have on the card. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great one. Peace.